and welcome to the 16th, I think, broadcast from Killer Cat's crew, the three women with a lot to rant about. And today we will be talking about horror TV, among other things. And I apologize for my voice, because I sound like Marlene Dietrich, I think. Besides me, Nello, today we have Chrissy and Intoxicated, who are ready to take you down the metal road, discussing everything that's new and happening at the moment. For today's metal news, I think we're gonna start with you, Chrissy. What do you have for us?
It's been a tough week trying to find some good metal news, and I finally found a good nugget. Dave Lombardo, as everyone knows from Slayer, and also his other band Film, has a new endeavor that is a punk band called Dead Cross, and they are recording a debut album for a 2016 release. And Lombardo describes Dead Cross's sound as a straightforward, brutal punk, metal-esque, but not metal. And he says you need a punk attitude these days with all the shit going on in the world. So I'm excited to hear it. Definitely into some of the punk, especially since my significant other is into the hardcore scene. And kind of fell out of my punk scene, kind of grew up with it, so looking forward to Lombardo, especially since he's one of my favorite drummers. And yeah, Dead Cross, looking forward to hearing it. They're hoping that they can at least get a couple songs out soon, so they're hoping by the end of the year they would have a full album. But yeah, a couple songs to debut and check it out. That's my metal news. Not much, but
But anyway, I mean, that's interesting news. What do you have for us today, Katie?
Well, like she said, it was a bit hard to find some stuff that's kind of dying down for tour season over here anyways. There's a bunch of like plans in the works for our friends over at Local Productions out of Philly. But one interesting bit of information that Rick Hayes has posted about, and it caught my eye, is that somebody is selling a Ultimate Mayhem Death Crush vinyl. It's one of the original pressings, and apparently they're not legitimately asking 5,000 euros for it, but that's what the price is right now. Apparently it has 3 handwritten letters from Euronymous, including a bunch of pictures and stuff, and that's kind of what makes it stand out a bit from the other original pressings. There's a bunch of pictures on the eBay site that I'm just kind of looking at now, just being like, oh my god, I want this. But there's no way in hell I'd ever spend that much money on a fucking vinyl. As much as I love collecting them, not going to spend that much money on that shit. But if people who are interested in it, definitely go check it out. It's definitely pretty cool to look at that shit. We all enjoy looking through all of that, and given I just saw Mayhem a couple like 2 weeks ago, and I was just told that I'm apparently going to MDF this year. I'm excited to see them again, and yeah, so, and they're playing like full De Mysterious, like in its entirety at that show, and I'm way too excited. And Venom's gonna be there.
yes.
Well, yeah, that's. I agree that you shouldn't really pay that much for an item, but of course, if you're a black packer, as people are calling the people going after such Norwegian items, well, go ahead. When running the Shining shop, I've also encountered a new thing that people from all over the world are going for the Norwegian Legion shirt from Shining, and these people are definitely not from Norway, but I guess Norway is still a thing, so.
I lucked out. I snagged one without having to go through the Legion site, so yes.
I think that's like, yeah, fans of Norway, they go for the most ridiculous prices and things. But if they love
I
it,
almost bought that today.
I had
I
to
want
have
my
it.
Germany
I'm
shirt.
Norwegian.
Well, I'm German, so bleh.
Yeah.
my metal news for today, as said, there's not that much to talk about if you look at what has happened the past week. But the touring season is coming to an end for Christmas holidays, however weird that sounds for metal. But a tour that also came to a conclusion now was the Children of Bodom Lamb of God Sylosis European Tour, and that's what I wanted to bring up in my metal news, because whether or not you heard about it, Lamb of God dropped off the tour in London many weeks ago. And the reason they stated why they dropped off that tour was that they were not able to guarantee their or their crew's safety for the remainder of the tour. So they just left Children of Bodom and Sylosis on their own. Bodom and Sylosis then did their best to scrape up what was to be saved of the tour, trying to do as many gigs as planned, not in the same venues, but in the same towns that they were supposed to play, while Lamb of God just shipped home. What bothers me about this situation is that I see metal music and metal people and musicians as tough-ass motherfuckers who don't give a shit and do their thing, whatever happens, and that they are the ones that stand by their values, their music, and everything. Yeah, Lamb of God was in Europe. That is not their home territory, and they were in a territory that had just been attacked. But saying that we can't guarantee the safety, I mean, everybody in Europe was doing their utmost. Every country was on like a special standstill to make it as safe as possible for everybody who is in Europe. And these guys just ship out saying that we're not feeling safe. What the fuck, guys? And
They're not even safe from their own vocalist. Ugh.
kind of like, what the fuck is going on, guys? The ultimate pussies. But anyway, I give a very big thumbs up for Sylosis and Bodom to trying to do it for the fans who had, in any case, prepared to go to the gigs. The gigs had been sold out. They still did everything they could. Yes, they missed a couple of gigs because those venues were not prepared to take a half version of the touring crew. They were not prepared to do it without Lamb of God. But they still did their best to get gigs to make up for those in the same cities, just for the fans. So a big thumbs up for them, for Sylosis, for the Bodom, and a big, big thumbs down for Lamb of God. I had some respect before, I have none now. Sorry, guys.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and especially for them, they're like known for being fucking brutal to each other. It's like, no, you don't just fucking drop off a show like that because of that. It's like you're just as in danger over here. I mean, the fuck is the difference? And like you said, you're in a metal band. You shouldn't give a shit. Like, that makes me.
About respect and everything.
They come here and then there's a terrorist attack here. Duh.
There's just shootings everywhere because the whole world is exploding in itself, and from my fucked up point of view, it's kind of awesome, but whatever. Like, no matter where you go, it's violence is violence, but for them to drop off like that is fucking shitty, but absolutely kudos to fucking Bodom and Sylosis, like,
Agreed.
fucking, I'm taking a shot for you guys right now, like, seriously, fucking...
And that's Intoxicity in her perfect form with her Jack Daniels. So a big thumbs up for that as well. I'm just seeing a beautiful sunrise here, so I'm not in. I'm just taking coffee instead. But his coffee.
Jack and energy drinks. Woo.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. See.
now we can serve up to our next topic, our main topic today, which is horror TV. In the last few years, we've seen a big rise in the amount of horror TV series. Maybe one could say that it started a long ago. Yes, we've had Dark Shadows, we've had Buffy the Vampire Slayer, we've always had a multitude of different horror-based TV series, but I think that during the last few years we've seen a big rise in the more gory, let's say, B horror film TV series mode. It's currently headed by American Horror Story, and of course Ash vs. the Evil Dead. We can't forget Walking Dead either, although it's gone a bit more to the drama side. But then we have The Strain, we have even Fear the Walking Dead. We have a multitude. So we're going to talk a bit about which ones are our favorites, what we like about them, and how we see them evolving in the near future. To start this discussion, Chrissy, what do you think?
Well, I started out watching American Horror Story. I've seen them all, and I started watching the current one, and then I got rid of my cable. So I haven't watched any of I haven't caught up yet, but I want to. And then I've been watching Ash vs. the Evil Dead illegally, and I'm almost caught up. I think I'm only one episode behind, and I love it. It's so funny. Which I love about that show is, like, it's gory, and there's not a lot of CGI, which is great, because I'm not a big CGI fan, because it gets to be too cartoony after a while. And I like that they still use gory, gushy effects, and, you know, like when they step on heads and stuff, it's like gushy. I love that. And of course, Ash is the best, you know, and yeah, I love it. I think it's genius, and everything about it is good, and I don't know. And for some of the other, I haven't watched any of the other TV shows just because, one, I work third shift, so I sleep all the time, and that's my bad. So I have to, like, catch up afterwards. So I have to take other people's words for how good things are and then catch up later. So I'm just going to stick with Ash vs. Evil Dead. And I haven't watched any of the new Walking Dead, obviously, because I don't have cable. And but I did keep up with that until this year, or until this season. So, and I did really enjoy that too, even though it did get to be real drama-esque. And but yeah, same thing with them. Their effects and their makeup and all that for their zombies is bar none the best. And
Cool.
It's great. It's great that it's on TV. It just, even though it is cable, I think the cable shows are actually doing a lot better than movies. Because it's like movies that come out of Hollywood are just regurgitating old movies, you know what I mean? Like there's no imagination left, and it's like it's all been left to TV, and that's awesome.
I think it was Dustin Hoffman who just recently said that right now TV is the best I have ever seen, and movies are the worst I've ever seen. I think. Yeah. I really I second that.
Yep. That's how,
absolutely.
Yeah. I would rather sit home and watch TV than pay. I don't even know how much it costs to see a movie. It's been so long since I actually went to a movie theater and saw a movie. And it has to be something that I really want to see to pay that much money, and that's pretty rare.
Yeah.
You know? And it's usually like a foreign film or something that's so smaller budget and independent that I'll usually want to go see, and it's never a big budget film. Like, I have zero interest in seeing Star Wars.
Well, well,
Sorry, I just
well,
don't. I don't. I'm from the old school. I watched the first 3 movies. I love those movies. To me, maybe it's my age. I don't know. It's like I see it and there's so much hype about it, and it's like,
There is. There's a lot of fucking hype about that movie. Like,
and I'm sure it's great. And I've heard that they made it for the fans, which is different than how the other movies were made. And, you know, that's even better, because if you make a movie for the fans, that's great, because that's what the fans want. That's how movies should be made.
yeah,
And,
I think that if with the new Star Wars, I agree that Star Wars is probably the only movie that I'm gonna see in a movie theater this year. But it is also based on the fact that it's coming out on my birthday, so I'm
that
gonna
helps.
have my sister paying for the ticket. If I would have to pay for the ticket myself, no. Here in Sweden and in Finland, where I'm gonna see Star Wars in the best movie theater in Scandinavia, by the way, the Tennis Palazzi. It's awesome. It is the best theater I've ever been to. It's hard to find comparison for that one. The tickets are from around 15 to 17 euros, which is about the same in dollars. So, are you gonna
so
pay
cheap.
$17 to see a film? No, never. This is like a special occasion. So it's kind of like you could like now you could decide whether you want to go to the opera or whether you're gonna want to see a film in a movie theater. I know that the prices are going up because moviegoers are not that many, but still the prices are ridiculous. So I
think,
do understand that. What did you have,
Yeah.
Kate?
I was just gonna say, I think that's cheaper than what it is out here. I think it's about.
Yeah, it's in
I think
like
it's
the
almost
$20 range.
Yeah, it's like almost $20 to $25 for a ticket, and that's just for like the regular movie theaters, because we have like the movie theaters and then we have the IMAX theaters.
Yeah,
And-
IMAX costs more here as well, but
Yeah.
I meant the regular ones.
Yeah, I'm bummed because I totally bought me and my ex tickets to go see it on the 26th, which, because all of it around here, everything's sold out until like the 26th. And I'm like, oh crap, I have to go by myself.
Even
But, I
though
mean-
I do love it, I would definitely see it through. I'm not gonna say cable. I'm not gonna say anything illegal. I'm just gonna say I would see it in other ways if it was.
In bays that are, controlled by pirates. But going back to what you said, Chrissy, about how TV shows are, doing better than movies. I mean, just look at Game of Thrones. Like, the amount of production behind that show. I mean, granted, yeah, it's HBO, so it's not just regular cable, but still, like, the amount of time and effort and the people working on that show is just as big, if not bigger, than any movie, and like they've been doing an amazing job. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm really
And,
excited to see that.
they
The
they
mid-season.
they use the same people and the same locations in Western countries near Balkan that like all the movies used to. They have like the same production. So
Yeah, like I remember watching some sort of, I think it was like a pre-season, like, hey, this is what we're doing, and it kind of gave a perspective of how much, well, how many people were involved, and also like how many different scenes, because I think they have like 3 or 4 different locations that they shoot at all at the same time for each episode, and it's fucking ridiculous. I'd love to work with that. But yeah,
just look at Ash versus the Evil Dead. You can like put that onto our same kind of perspective, as in when you're watching an episode, it's a half an hour episode, but it has much more character building and good one-liners crammed into it. So, okay, 3 episodes of Ash vs. the Evil Dead would equal seeing an Evil Dead movie, but it's like much richer.
Yeah.
It's much more than just one of them. I think that in some ways TV series are finding the joy of actually scripting good stories much better than what movies used to do. It doesn't have to be like this. I gotta get this story told in a minute so that everybody understands kind of thing anymore. It's more of like we can build this up. We can give them like a first impression, then build on that, and then like take it forward. They are putting so much more into it than what movies ever did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree. And I was actually watching episode 4 today, actually earlier, and I was thinking the camera angles that they used in episode 4 was awesome. And I'm like, this is 10 times better than any movie I've seen lately. I don't know, I love it. So
Yeah.
and just the silly humor and just
The
the
one-liners.
The one-liners are great, you know. And
You really
Okay,
have to catch up on this with you guys.
I think you'll love it. It's great.
I've
Which
been working
one's
so
that?
much, I haven't been like watching at all.
Have you been watching American Horror Story though?
I have. I'm behind a bit. But I was watching it when I went up to visit my brother and his girlfriend up in Maine, and she's a huge American Horror Story fan. She, other than you guys, she actually had me watching it when I went up there a couple months ago, and so I caught up with her a little bit about it, and I have to say, like, my favorite thing about that show, like you just mentioned with Ash vs. Evil Dead, is the goddamn camera angles, man. Especially in the season, I think it was whichever one that was Asylum, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
The camera angles in that season were just horrifying, and I loved it. The way that they placed all the cameras and everything is just, it fucked with your head a little bit because you're like, oh, dude, that is a weird angle, and I don't like it.
It's like you're constantly lost inside that asylum.
Yeah.
The way they zoom through there, it's like, I don't like that.
And I really enjoy when directors and film directors do that. They do it in The Walking Dead. They've been doing it more often. I'm behind this season because the last episode I watched of this season was really, I hate to say it, but really goddamn boring. And,
I haven't seen season 6 at all. I'm on season 5 on The Walking Dead.
I think it was the first episode was kind of like interesting and confusing. The second episode was awesome, and then the third one I was just sitting there like, what the fuck?
Well, The Walking Dead is also something that has been in my opinion, has been becoming more of a drama. The first one was straight action. You could like relate to seeing Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead when you were a kid. And after the first season, it became this drama more focused on the relationships and how people are coping with the situation, not as much the horror. So it kind of, I didn't like it as much because there's enough drama series out there. But I can see the point, and I think that they do the gory scenes well. I think that they've developed the story well, though it's not as much horror as I would like it to be. I personally liked Fear the Walking Dead more because it brought back that, like, what the fuck is happening kind of horror feeling into it. I'm just scared that that's gonna go the same way now that when season 2 should start early next year. So we'll see.
Which other ones?
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, which other ones were we talking about?
Oh, other ones. Well, other ones. I mean, let's see. Right now, the other ones. Of course, there's a lot of horror-themed things that have come afterwards. I mean, we got Supernatural, which started after Buffy ended, which is more oriented towards the teenage crowd and the ones that want to see good-looking boys, I think. But then we have Grimm. That's also, it's based more on fantasy, but it started as like a bit more like soft horror when it first came out. And then we had the Vampire Diaries and the originals, which took the vampire theme forward. But that's also something that's more, instead of horror, it's on the teen romance side. But it does play on horror themes. So in terms of like real horror series, Ash and American Horror Story, and the beginnings of The Walking Dead, probably The Strain are as far as we can go with actual horrifying horror series. Or, I don't know, you guys...
I thought of one that I forgot about. Did you guys ever catch Sleepy Hollow?
Oh yeah, Sleepy Hollow, that's true. I did get that, but it was a bit weird.
It was, and the reason I kept watching it was because the main like villain character essentially was Moloch, and I was just like, yes. They had a lot of their like demonology, if you will, like correct. I was like, wow, this is like the first time I'm actually kind of like seeing fairly accurate things in a TV show. And not on top of that, the guy who played Ichabod Crane was like smoking hot.
Yeah.
But
That's
it was
just
one
wrong.
of those shows that I kept. No, he was so good looking. But it was one of those shows that like I had to get past like the not so good acting of everybody else in the show because he like stole the show on that. But it was interesting. I think I watched the first 2 seasons, and I'm pretty sure that I missed it, but there was a crossover between that and Bones, and Bones is totally not a horror show at all, but I like that they get to play with dead things all the time. And I saw a commercial that they were doing like a crossover show for Halloween, and I just realized that I missed it, and I'm really upset about it. Because Bones is one of those shows that I watch all the time, just because dead things and murder mysteries.
Yeah, Bones.
Yeah.
Then there are some series that got cancelled, which could have been, well, not cancelled maybe, but which were ace in the horror genre. Masters of Horror. It didn't run for that many seasons, but each episode was a mini movie. I mean, it was a short story made into a movie, and the concept, I think, was one of the best, as in they took existing horror short stories, older and new ones, and then they had also a known horror director and cast that had been in horror movies before. So each episode is a really good blend of horror names doing a whole new thing together, and each episode is a standalone episode. That was fabulous in my opinion, because horror novelists are very known for putting out loads of good small stories, and it's a series worth watching. I think you can find it on Hulu at the moment, and of course you can buy the DVD sets. It's just 2 seasons with I think it's about 25 episodes. That was a really, really good horror series, and I was sorry to see it go, but so it did. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Those episodes are really, really something. Have you seen it, Chrissy?
I have not, actually. I'm a bad TV watcher.
Oh. You definitely should. I gotta send you some links.
Do that, because I will if someone sends me something, I'll watch it. or tells me about it, then I'll watch it. Otherwise, it's like I just don't like see something on TV and go like, oh, I should watch that. Except for, American Horror Story, which I've watched since season 1, and except for this year, like I said, because I got rid of cable. But
I'm also a bit behind on that one. It isn't on any streaming services here, so we have to get the episodes in a way too.
yeah.
So,
I was told to look up a series that's coming up in January called Lucifer, and it's based on
is it based on the comic?
Neil Gaiman,
Yeah. So
Yep.
it's the one that's based on
the Sandman.
Preacher, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a spin-off.
yeah,
The spin-off of the Sandman.
He makes an. Sorry for stopping in. I'm a huge Neil Gaiman fan, and Sandman. I started with it when I was 9 years old when
Wow.
it came out. So I even got the magazines that have the wrong. They had a problem with Sandman in the beginning because it was so low budget that they had this spread. Because a comic is like a spread of like you have the spread like this, but they'd drawn it wrong. So it went from one side, and then you flip the page and you saw the next side of the spread. So it was fucked up. And that's the first time that Lucifer is in the series. That's when Sandman goes down to hell to go and find his former lover, who Sandman himself has sent to hell, and meets with Lucifer. And Lucifer's like, fuck this shit, I want to go somewhere, and takes his half-faced, Lucifer's own half-faced lover, and goes away and starts this career like playing the piano or something in jazz rock. It's not as hilarious as it sounds. It's really moving, but it's. If there's gonna be a series, I'm really looking forward to that. What did you hear about it?
Well, I just looked it up right now, and it comes out on January 25th, and it's on Fox Network, so it's actually on TV. Oh, so that's good. It says it's crime, horror, and dark comedy, so that's good.
Yeah, it sounds like the Lucifer we've come to know from Sandman.
And it says the series will focus on Lucifer, who is bored and unhappy as the Lord of Hell, and resigns his throne and abandons his kingdom for the beauty of Los Angeles, where he gets his kicks helping the LAPD punish criminals.
Yeah, well, that's cool.
Like,
that actually reminds me of a series that got cancelled after its first season. That was a good horror series, 666 Park Avenue. It had.
that was so good.
It was so good. I don't know. It's like Rosemary's Baby kind of vibe, and good acting. It had Vanessa Williams as a really, really cool mistress of the house. I loved that, and it got cancelled. I was so depressed. That's something everybody should check out because it's on Netflix, Hulu as well. So it's streaming. So 666 Park Avenue. Lost.
Check that out too.
Speaking of like really good movies or TV shows, I'm bringing it back to movies because I know more movies than I do TV shows. Nelly, one of the first movies you told me to go watch, was it Starry Eyes? Starry-Eyed. That movie was awesome, and people need to go watch it. Because that was more of like it was like horror and like kind of like weird occulty stuff, but like the psychological fucking like ridiculousness in that movie is just awesome, and that's the stuff I love. So people should go check that out as they're going through Netflix and all that stuff.
Yeah, Starry Eyes is good, and of the recent movies that have come out now, I don't know. I liked Contracted, but they recently came out with Contracted Phase 2, and I like that as well. But no, it doesn't beat Starry Eyes. No.
Yeah, that was really good. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch this. Other than that,
I think that we can go to our shout-outs for this week. Because I was sparing a movie shout-out. There's a new movie that is now out on demand DVD. In some places, I think in the UK, it might as well. It's possible that it's in the cinemas, but it's called The Hallow, not The Hollow. There's a lot of movies out now at the moment with similar titles, but this one is called The Hallow, as in Halloween. The Hallow. It tells the story of a couple moving in to a remote village to do a job where the man of the house is marking trees and the forest for a bigger company who will then be building something into that forest. And what lives in that forest definitely does not like what this family is doing, so they come to haunt them. It takes a lot of images and histories from old folk legends, talking about trolls, elves, spirits of the forest, the not so kind spirits of the forest, the trolls under the bridge, and changelings. So I definitely recommend you all to check that out. As I said, it's The Hallow with an A. Very much worth watching. Well done film with very good scenery, beautiful colors, and good acting. So definitely, that's my shout out for this week, The Hallow. What do you have for us, Katie?
Two. Supporting my Blind Death hoodie because everybody needs to go buy stuff from them.
Blind Death, yes.
Like, his stuff's amazing, and like honestly, it's he just knows what the fuck he's doing in it, and it's great, and all of the quality of his shit is just awesome. And I support my brother, so go check his stuff out. I know I've done a shout out before, but his company's kind of picking up a little bit. Huh?
He deserves another shout out.
Absolutely. He's absolutely amazing, and I still am getting texts from Uber from when I went out drinking with him and was trying to get a ride home and accidentally signed up as a driver instead of somebody who needs a ride. But other than that, as for the festival that I'm putting on, we keep getting a lot of bands wanting to be on it, and one of them, the two of them that stood out as newer bands are Worthless and this band called Plagues. I was fortunate to go see Plagues recently, and Worthless has been amazing so far, so definitely go check those two bands out and keep an eye out for a kickoff show towards the end of February for that festival. So, and hopefully more news eventually. Anyways. Hopefully. I'm just like, but yeah, definitely thanks for all the support for everybody on that, because that's just been, my inbox is kind of flooded right now, so if you messaged me and I haven't gotten back to you, I'm sorry. There's like 20 million of you and I don't really know what to do at this point. But other than that, yeah, so check out Blind Death if you haven't already, check out Plagues from Massachusetts, and check out Worthless from New Jersey. If you like Tombs, you will like, or Tomb, you will like Worthless. So those are my shoutouts. You're welcome.
And I am anxiously awaiting my package from Blind Death. So get it here, quick. I want my shirt and my sticker to put on my car. So anyway, my shout out is for Gall. Lovely, lovely Gall. I love him so much.
I love
What does he do now?
And since it, you know, there's Gorgoroth, and then he did Godseed, and he was in Vordruna, and
Fucking
now
Vordruna.
yeah, he's out of Vordruna, and now Godseed is no more. So now there's Gall's Wyrd, I don't know how to pronounce that.
Weird.
Wyrd, YRD, WYRD. Anyway, he just debuted at the Black Metal Festival in Bergen, just this last November, and I'll put a link up. I found one video that of their live performance, and they sound kick ass. And everyone knows Gall doesn't really like to perform live, but he said it gave him the quivers to perform live, which was good, and that's what he likes. So that's a good sign. So hopefully he'll perform more with this new band and put out some good music. So that's my shout out. Check them out. We'll link it. I'll link it so you guys can check it out. But Gall's weird. Gall's weird.
I think he's the only vocalist that can literally get away with standing there and doing absolutely nothing other than doing his vocals.
That's right.
And like, that's Gall. We can watch him all day.
Yep.
Yep.
And he's one man that actually made me speechless when I met him.
He is nice.
I know. I didn't know what to say. I was like, it's Gall. Oh.
It's kind of like meeting the Dalai Lama of metal.
I know. I was like dumbfounded. I was like, oh my God, can I have a picture? Duh.
I feel like
Thank you. Tack.
like that was me when I met Frost. I just turned around. I'm like, oh shit, fucking
Yep.
drum.
I know they're just people, but they're special people, and he made me speechless. I couldn't help it. So
We'll get to the point that
There's like this warm energy coming from Gall. It's kind of like, oh no!
it's like, yeah, they're just people. But I mean, over here, since we all read about everything that happened and like everything, it's like they're honestly legends at this point over here. So it's like, you're an actual person. You're not on the internet. Like, holy shit. What do I say to you that doesn't offend you? Speaking of that, before we leave, I know we have a lot of people who we want to get on the show soon, so definitely keep up with our notifications about people and things and whatnot.
People. We got people coming.
Mostly people. Stuff and 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 stuff.
But yeah, we're definitely going to be having some interesting guests with us in the near future. But this was all from us for this week. So this is Nello signing out.
Intoxicating signing out. Oh. You first.
Happening?
You go first.
You first. No, you first.
This is KP. K to the motherfucking P. I didn't put that this time because my fucking computer's broken, so whatever. Everyone, I look like an emo kid. So, check it out. I'm so depressed. Bye.
I'm just gonna leave by going like this.
And on that note, bye bye.